Hello, hello. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. We made it to the weekend. Hopefully, you guys had a good week. We got Dewan, what's up? We've got obviously lots of college football to talk about today, lots of NFL stuff to get to. I'll probably save majority of NFL stuff for Sunday morning, but we will talk through some of the games, some spots that I like there. And we'll go through college. If you guys have any fantasy questions, you can go ahead and drop those in the chat. As far as recap of yesterday, basically broke even. It was a break-even day for me, so we cashed HN over his receptions. I also, at I don't know, 7 o'clock or so, I added the Dolphins team total over 17.5 points, which Travis was talking about in the chat here. I know I saw a couple people on that yesterday, but so I ended up adding that as a little bit of a bigger play. So it was a break even. So those two won, and then the Palmer stuff that we had just didn't work out, unfortunately. He still ran like around 50% route rate while Josh Allen dropped back, but that never really looked his way, and he didn't seem to work out. I did say yesterday I thought the smart bettors would be on the Dolphins to cover. They did cover. They lost by 10 points. Dolphins easily could have won that game if not for their idiot. That guy is so dumb getting a penalty for roughing the kicker when you get off the field. It's like a tie game, and you're getting off the field and you rough the kicker. Like, that's the kind of stuff that is grounds like you should be fired. You should just be fired. And if I had bet on the Dolphins, I would have been losing my mind. And then, a bad interception, Dewan, completely agree. That's what's really killed the Dolphins this year. Week 1 against the Colts, a bunch of bad turnovers, really cost them possessions. Last week, same thing. And then this week, like, they're driving down to go tie the game, and just a bad interception. The turnovers have really killed Miami to start off the year. But I hate you guys know. I've learned enough betting on these terrible college football teams that we bet on. You know, when we get another month from now and we're betting on these Tuesday and Wednesday night games, I've bet on those games enough to know, like, if I was a football coach, I would tell the day that I became a coach, I would go to whoever I appoint as head of the special teams. I would sit him down and I would say, this team is never going to rush a kicker ever. I'm not even going to try and block a kick unless it would have to be extreme circumstance for me to try and block a kick, because it's just too risky. I don't know. I didn't understand it. Anyways, that was yesterday. Zach Charbonnet doubtful for this week. Kenneth Walker going to be a smash DFS play. If you drafted Kenneth Walker, now is the time, baby. Get him in that starting lineup. Now is the time for Kenneth Walker this week. At touchdown favorite at home, no Zach Charbonnet. Now is the time. Cash games on DraftKings, man. It's just going to be – let me see if I can pull up. Let me see if I can pull up a contest real quick. Before we dive into the college slate of games, I got to log in. Actually, I might not have to log in. Let me see. I think there's a way to get to the contest without logging in. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Let me see if this works. Boom, look at that. All right. I'm gonna pull up DraftKings real quick. So cash games on DK right now. And this is just me, like, again, this is like on the fly now that I see this Kenneth Walker news. But man, I think we're playing Marcus Mariota. Min price. So I think we put him in. I think you're probably like, I don't know, playing Jordan Mason and Kenneth Walker and CMC. And then defense, like just put in whoever. I don't really care. So that gives you 6K per. Obviously, your tight end is not going to, like, I'm still not going to spend up on tight end. I think Juwan is interesting or Fannin. So that gives you 67 per. Or I guess like you could even get really weird and like no Tucker Craft. You could use Luke Musgrave at 27. That gives you 7,100 for 3 receivers. Obviously would prioritize CD. And then it's like, who else? Like, could we get up to CD and Puka? Probably could. That leaves you 57. Pearsall, if Juwan Jennings missed, could put him in there. Could go down a little bit farther to like one of these guys, like Keenan, right? Could keep him in there, and then we could upgrade tight end. That could get us up to Juwan. Basically, we could downgrade defense, or we could just play Fannin right there. I don't know. This is where I'm at. Just like now that I see that Kenneth Walker is just kind of like walking through things. But probably pretty easy to get CD and Puka right now. And then it kind of comes down to what you want to do at that other receiver spot and your tight end spot. But I'm definitely gonna have Mariota in cash, and I'll probably have Mariota on my main GPP too. You can just play him naked. If you want to play him with Debo Dewan, you can do that definitely. I don't think you have to though. You can just play him by himself, like something like, I don't know, like so. What if we like did something like you put Seahawks with Kenneth Walker, you have Marcus Mariota. You could get, maybe get Bijan in there, and then you could mini him with Tet McMillan, right? So something like this to start out, and then that gives you 57 per, assuming you maybe save like on your tight end, or you could put him with Ertz, and then that gives you 62. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff you can do, but this is probably something I would consider doing on a tournament team this week. And then you could get access to, these late games, Dallas, Chicago. So like maybe like you play a DAC stack on one team, right? Most popular game. So you play a DAC stack on one team, and then on this team, you put Javonte in to kind of counteract that passing game, and then that gives you 55. You could put one of the Bears receivers with him, or something along those lines. I also like Pickens a lot this week, and he's at 5,900. Good spot for him. Maybe you could play him. I mean, you could play a couple Dallas guys, honestly. Like you could play Pickens and like Ferguson together. I don't think that's a bad strategy. And that still gives you 64 per. So I don't know. I could see definitely playing Mariota in cash, and probably in my main GPP as well. Yeah, interesting tournament play there for sure, Dewan. Pick one out of Iomanor, Pittman, and Troy Franklin. Mike, that's a good question. Mike, is it half or full PPR? Can you let me know that? I know it's common at NFL domestic violence, but I wonder how those guys feel about. Yeah, I don't know, Guru. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not inside the locker room, so that's a little. I'm sure it's probably like weird to navigate, but like you said, at the same time, a lot of teams have to like deal with that, unfortunately. So I don't know. I'm sure it's probably like a little bit of a weird dynamic. All right, full PPR. So Iomanor, Pittman, Troy Franklin. I think it's gonna be. I think it's probably Pittman for me. It's close though. I'd probably go Pittman. I think Tennessee's live in that game, so it should be back and forth. Tennessee kind of a pass funnel defense, right? So good spot for him. He's not going to be on Surtain like he was last week. So I would go. I'd probably go Pittman there. Worthy a full go for Sunday? I would doubt it personally. I just don't see how that's possible. But I could be proven wrong. I just don't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. All right. Let me pull unabated back up and let's go through some of these college games. And then we'll talk a lot of NFL Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Everybody better be here. Let's see. All right. So tonight, I do have a play I like a lot. I took Rutgers in this game. I took them at 2.5. It's down to like 2 or 1.5. If you can find a 2.5 on, so it looks like Fanatics has 2.5, and ESPN Bet has 2.5. And the score, I don't think I have access to that, but a couple places have 2.5 still, or you can get a 2 on 365. If you can't get a 2 or a 2.5, I would just take money line. I think Rutgers wins this game. I've seen pretty much anyone I've seen give out a bet for this today is on Iowa. Let me check FanDuel if I can see betting splits for this game. I've seen a lot of people give out Iowa today, and I just don't really understand it. I think Rutgers is better. Yeah, so 71% of the spread bets on FanDuel are on Iowa. I think Rutgers is A, better. B, they're at home. And I don't really understand the pushback on this Rutgers team. Like, they've beat up on these bad teams, supposedly, and people are pointing out that they struggled in week 1 against Ohio. Ohio is good. Ohio beat West Virginia. Ohio closed as only like a 28-point dog to Ohio State, and they were firmly in that game in the first half. Like, Ohio is a legitimately good that team. I don't really understand like why people are acting like Rutgers struggling with Ohio is some crazy thing. They just beat West Virginia. So I'm not putting a ton of stock into Rutgers struggling with Ohio. Kaliak Manis is like one of my mortal enemies. I hate that kid. Not personally. I don't know him, but I hate betting on him. I've not had good success betting on Ethan Kaliak Manis in my career, but he's played very, very good. And one thing that sticks out to me in this game too, Iowa is the same situation that they always are in. This is an Iowa team that can't score. They're great on defense. They want to grind you down, and they don't score. They don't have a quarterback, and they don't score. Given that that's the case, why is this total 46.5 points? That is not, in my opinion, like what the total should be in this game. And that tells me a little bit. I think the books think that there's going to be offense scored. That plays into Rutgers' hands. Like, Iowa cannot get in a shootout with someone. Like, they can't do that. So everyone's on Iowa tonight. I like Rutgers. We'll see how it goes, but I took Rutgers plus 2.5 for tonight. That was my only play tonight. I do think Tulsa is live for like an upset over Oklahoma State. I just don't think Oklahoma State's very good. But that would be more like underdog parlay. I'm not playing it as itself, but if you're doing underdog like round robin or something, you can maybe throw Tulsa in there. As for tomorrow, haven't bet it, but lean North Texas in this early game. I know I'm sure people want to bet Army at home, but North Texas is an absolute wagon. We had them last week in a parlay. I really liked them coming to the season, and they looked the part to me. So I would lean North Texas in this one. Don't want to touch Clemson at all. This is a great game early, big noon. Texas Tech, Utah, basically the biggest game in the Big 12 for the entire season, and it's on a noon time slot, which means this is going to be a 10 a.m. game in Utah. Don't understand why they did that, but I like Utah here. I'm sure it's going to be popular, but these are the spots you like to take Utah. Whittingham at home. I'm a big Devin Dampier fan. I've kind of been riding Utah as it is. I think Utah's the best team in the Big 12. And yeah, I like Utah in that game. Didn't bet them. But I'll probably put them in a money line parlay because I like Utah on that one. I like Memphis as dogs here as a lean. Didn't play it, but would lean the Memphis side. Right now, the only thing I for sure bet for tonight is Rutgers, and then for tomorrow, Kansas. I like a lot at home against West Virginia, coming off that overtime backyard brawl rivalry game. Now they got to go on the road to Kansas. I like Kansas. And then my favorite play of the entire college football season thus far, my favorite play, I gave this out earlier in the week. I put 3 units on it. The line moved. So anyone that doesn't have access to earlier in the week stuff from me, this line moved to 7. I took Indiana minus 4.5 for 3 units. It's at 7 now. And all of the bets, I don't know. This is just such a good Indiana spot. Illinois is getting all of the public action. This line just keeps moving towards Indiana. Illinois is very banged up. Their best cornerback is going to be out for this game. I think this Illinois team is just so phony. I've said this for a couple weeks. I was waiting for a big spot to fade Illinois, and I think this is it. I think Indiana is a great bet. It's my favorite bet of the college football season thus far. I know we're only in week 4. But I love Indiana this week. So unfortunate if you didn't get the 4.5 with us. I don't know. You can still play it. Maybe not with the same confidence. I wouldn't put 3 units obviously on the 7 or 6.5. But I think Indiana wins this game by double digits. So I don't know. Maybe get creative with how you play it. But I absolutely love Indiana this weekend. So that's the stuff that I have for sure took so far. Rutgers, Indiana, Kansas. I also took Miami of Ohio early game tomorrow against UNLV. Road game for UNLV. Kind of a weird line. Why is Miami of Ohio only 2-point dogs here? I think this is a little bit telling. I think Miami of Ohio wins this game outright. So I took Miami of Ohio plus 2.5 in this one. And that's really it for confirmed stuff that I really like. So now I'll go through kind of my thoughts and leans on the games. Like I said, definitely lean North Texas. I definitely lean Utah in the big noon game. Moving down to the afternoon, Auburn, Oklahoma, great game at 3:30. I would have to ride with. I've been riding Oklahoma a little bit. I think we ride with them again. I don't know. It should be a close game. I trust Oklahoma offensively a little bit, though, more so than Auburn. But we'll see what happens. That should be a great game. Probably not going to have a bet there. UNC, UCF. I'll probably be on UCF in this one in some capacity, maybe a money line parlay. But North Carolina stinks. We bet against them earlier in the season in the bounce house against Central Florida. I will take UCF in that one. Cash FanDuel quarterback. You had a good feeling on May last week. Is it Mariota or Wentz the chalk? Yeah, fly Eagles fly. I would say I haven't looked at updated ownership. Let me check. Let me check for you. Let me look at ownership projections. I haven't looked at FanDuel ownership projections yet. I would say you just play Marcus Mariota. Yeah, that's looking like the play to me. Right now, Dak and Caleb are at the top of the ownership projections. No shocker there, but I think you play Marcus Mariota in cash on both sides. He fits very well with Cliff Kingsbury's offense, and the last times we've seen him in a game for Washington, he was very good from a fantasy perspective. So I would just play Mariota for the savings. Michigan, Nebraska. I like Nebraska side in this one. Don't know if I'll play it. If I do, it might just be money line parlay like I talked about, and I'll just go with the upset and take Nebraska. But I'd probably lean Nebraska at home in that one. Not sure if I'll bet it. Biggest game in Nebraska in quite some time. Michigan finally opened up the offense a little bit last week. I think this is going to be a fun game. So I'm actually pretty excited for that one at 3:30. Kansas, I talked about. I like them. Good spot for them at home. I think we can go back to Western Kentucky this week. We were riding them earlier on. Tough game that they had against Toledo. Much easier game for them here at home against Nevada. I think we can comfortably go back to the WKU. We'll have no problems with that. Night games would probably lean Baylor over Arizona State, but I need to put some more thought into that one. That's another one should be a good game. Super high total. Indiana I talked about. Definitely lean Miami over Florida, but not sure if I'll bet them over a touchdown. Like if you could get them at like, if they were 6.5, I'd like them. I don't know if I want to lay a 7.5, 8.5. It got up to 9.5. You can see like it got up to 9 for a while. It's trickling back down. I think it'll be a close game, but definitely lean Miami. I think Miami's the better team there. Didn't play it, but I know it's on the road. Washington should smoke Washington State. Washington State is not good at all. Trying to see anything else down here. Colorado at home against Wyoming. I have not. I've faded Colorado 2 times this year. I think you can go back and switch this time and actually bet on Colorado. I don't like this Wyoming team, and I don't like them away from home. So Colorado maybe is fine. Late night game here, 11 o'clock, USC, Michigan State. I don't have a play on this right now, but I kind of like – it's such a weird spot because it's a cross-country, super late-night game for Michigan State, but I like Childs a lot at quarterback for Michigan State. This USC team's good. They just cracked the top 25 finally, but I don't know. I kind of liked Michigan State just looking at it. I have not looked at that game whatsoever, though, so my opinion could change on it if I research it, but that's just kind of my thoughts overall. But overall for college tomorrow, Indiana far and away my favorite spot. I think they roll against Illinois. I like Kansas. I like Miami of Ohio. And I like Rutgers tonight. Overall, though, quick stream today. Like I said, we'll save the NFL talk for Sunday. I'll be live 11 a.m. Sunday morning. It'll be a long stream, hour and a half. Hopefully I can get I'm going to message Matt and Sam, see if we can get some guests on the stream this Sunday. We will talk NFL bets. We'll talk touchdown picks. We will talk DFS, obviously, start-sit questions, your last-minute questions, all that good stuff Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Also have a ladder play for week 3. We're 2-0 on our Sunday ladders. Romo Dunze made us a ton of money last Sunday. I have my ladder play locked in. I've already bet it for this Sunday, and I will tweet that out later tonight. So stay tuned for that tweet later. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a good Friday night. Have a good weekend. And I will see everybody on Sunday morning.